Hey, everybody, welcome to Monday night. We are going to have some fantastic guests with us in about 10 to 11 minutes. And if you are watching this on replay, you may want to fast forward to that point. If you are catching us live, you may want to sit back, enjoy some nice shots on the screen as we play some wonderful countdown music. I'll see you in about 10 minutes.
Oh my God, RT.
Hey RT, it's a shot ski. The perfect backyard drinking game. You have more.
That looks great. Oh my God, RT.
Hey RT, it's a shot ski. The perfect backyard drinking game.
That looks great. Wait a minute. Missed a spot. Oh my God, RT.
Hey RT, it's a shot ski. The perfect backyard drinking game. Hey, RT, it's a shot ski.
You know she looks so good, but she ain't so pretty.
That looks great.
I don't know why I feel this way, but I'm the ride, she's driving insane. And don't you know you oughta pump the brakes? I can't tell you why don't you let it go. I'm the line and finally I'ma let you know you're somewhere in between my legs. Hey, you know there ain't another girl like her in the city. Yeah, yeah, you know she looks so good, but she ain't so pretty. I can't believe I rode so long with this whole time you riding me wrong. Don't you know you oughta take a risk, try your best, give it to me straight, and don't deny or reply, I don't wanna wait. We're at the end of the road, it's time to let go of everything. There ain't another girl like her in the city. No, no, you know she looks so good, but she ain't so pretty. So leave me alone before I end it up here. On the phone with another reason to be had. One man for a while. This is where I live. You don't have to speak. There's no room for goodbyes or desperate lies between the teeth. That's just how it goes. Everybody knows there's no room for your games and no remains. There ain't another girl like her in the city. Yeah, no, you know she looks so good, but she ain't so pretty. So leave me alone before I end it up here. On the phone with another reason to be had. One man for a while. There ain't another girl, ain't another girl, ain't another girl. There ain't another girl, ain't another girl, ain't another girl.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Monday night. We are glad to have you here. Super excited about tonight. Got some great guests, and I appreciate you being here. We are here to make Monday nights great, and we are always glad to see you here. We always try to bring you the best guest always working on that. I do want to remind you before we get started that the chat is where it's at. If you want to have a great experience on a live stream, chat with each other, chat with the guest, and the more you chat, it helps the algorithm push this out to other sources, and we want to share our channel with those that want to view our channel and enjoy it with us. So I hope you will chat it up. If you're watching this on replay, please leave comments as you see fit. We would love to hear what you have to say. I do ask the live audience, if you do have a question for any of our guests or me, put a Q at the beginning of the chat message and then follow that with your question. That helps me identify it, helps me make sure that you get your answers. If you have a milestone that you're celebrating, put an M at the beginning of the chat with any milestone, whether that be YouTube milestones, woodworking milestone, you learned a new skill, you took a class, or another personal milestone. There was a birth in the family. No matter what it is, we would like to celebrate with you. So let's get into it and bring on our first guest. And I think it's fitting to bring on the queen of lumber mills, the entertainment to entertainers. Let's bring on Sandy from MacKenzie Lumbermill. Hey, Sandy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, RT?
I'm doing good. Appreciate you being here.
I'm so excited to be here.
So you dropped a video today?
Today.
Okay, great. Everybody needs to go check it out. I haven't had the chance yet. I had to work all day, but you better believe I will be checking it out because I watch all of Sandy's content.
It was a hashtag short, so it's only a 1 minute. 1 minute.
Oh, I can definitely make time for that.
Right?
Let's bring on the leader of our collaboration. We had a collaboration to make a bunch of games and make videos about making those games. And our leader is a duo, a father-son duo that is taking the YouTube world by storm. Please welcome Matt and Dom from Friday Workshop. Hey guys, how's it going? Can't hear you. All right, we got audio problems. We will bring them back on in a minute. Well, that's what we do here. If you don't have your audio hooked up, we might kick you out and bring you back on in a minute. Let's introduce our one channel that is from the United Kingdom. That's right. We have royalty. We have the Prince of Woodworking, the Earl of YouTube. Let's bring in Jack from Everman Builds. Hey, Jack, how's it going?
Okay, how are you?
I'm good. What are you working on right now? What's your next project?
None.
None?
I have a big list of things to work through, but I'm not working on any of them.
Okay, so what's your next project?
Giving away stuff.
Oh, wow.
I'd like to give some stuff away. I've got some stuff to give away, but...
Give away on your channel or to friends, family, charity?
On the channel.
All right.
Just a few little tools here and there.
Is it going to be a UK giveaway?
Yes.
Okay. Well, those are great, and I know our UK viewers will be interested, and they need to come watch you.
We're trying
Let's
to
go back.
International, but shipping is a little bit prohibitive.
Shipping is rough.
Yes.
Let's go back to Dad and Dom, Matt and Dom from Friday Workshop. How are you sounding now?
Are we on there now?
You are on here. Welcome.
Nice. Yeah, we had to switch microphones real quick.
That's part of the experience is being able to negotiate problems on the fly and do the best you can.
Yeah, we got tech support right here. So
yeah. So Dom, you're almost out of school for the year, right?
Yeah, almost there. June 2nd.
Ooh. Just 2 or 3 weeks there. Yeah, quick. Yeah. And Matt and Don, what's the next project or next video that you're working on? Because I know you put out videos every week.
We are 2 videos away from our 100th video. No, 4 videos. 4 videos. Sorry, he knows.
4th video is the 100th.
Yeah, so we are almost to our 100th video that we put on YouTube. So we're real excited about the 100th video. So that's coming up pretty soon.
All right. What are you doing to celebrate?
We have about 2 or 3 ideas right now that we've been looking at. We haven't decided on which one exactly. So
okay, we'll be watching and being excited to hear it. Let's bring on our next guest. This next guest has a live stream of his own, but he has decided to skip that live stream tonight, which would normally be later. And he is a dad, and he has a man cave. So, of course, he is Jarod from the Dad Cave.
Good evening. Thank you for having me, RT. Appreciate it.
Sure thing. Let's get you full screen for a second. How you doing?
Doing great. I feel like I made it. This is like woodworking YouTuber royalty. Everybody that's come before us tonight. Yeah. So I'm feeling great.
Awesome. What are you working on your Swiss Army bottle opener jig, pocket hole jig?
Yes, that is actually my next video. This got sent to me by my buddy over at the DIY Man channel, and he challenged me to make this homemade pocket hole jig better than what it already is. So we got some ideas, and we're coming up with a Swiss Army knife pocket hole jig. That's the next idea, next planned video.
Awesome. Okay, let's bring on our next guest. He puts the custom in custom creative carvings. He is the master of CNC. He is Chris. Hello.
Hey, good evening. How's everybody doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing rather well, thank you.
You warmer now that you're out of the cold of winter and you've got a split heating and air conditioning unit and all this?
You know, that made a huge difference throughout the winter, and I've really been grateful for it. It hit 80s today. It's going to be warmer tomorrow. It's getting to the point I'm starting to enjoy the air conditioning aspect of that real fast. So it's been good, and it's going to stay good. I did have a couple of months or a month there that I didn't need to run it, but it's turning back on now.
Awesome. Well, I like the video on that. I've been entertaining that thought of putting one in. It gets so hot in South Carolina in that garage.
Totally worth it.
Yeah. So
and DIY.
Anybody that is interested in doing your own, installing your own unit, go check out his videos. Very well done, very detailed. Let's bring
interesting fact on that, though. It does take longer to watch my video series than it takes to actually install one.
But once you watch your series, it'll be easy to install, right?
You know everything not to do.
Let's bring on the newest funny man on YouTube who is making an impact, and he's a gambler, folks. He's rolling the dice in the backyard. Let's bring on Hugh from McMath Woodworks. Hey, Hugh, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Doing great. What are you working on next?
I've got a kind of a shoe bench that I've been working on for several months that I kind of pick away at here and there when I can. So hopefully that'll come out pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm trying to make you larger there. Yeah, so hopefully that'll be out soon.
Yeah, just whenever I get it done. I've got like a little time here, a little time there. That's why I get out of the shop at like 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Fantastic. Well, appreciate you being here. I understand a lot of evenings you got to take care of the kids, which I appreciate more than you know. All right. Well, let's get started with a few questions now that we've we've got everybody here. This is nice to do a collaboration and then be able to bring everybody together. 7 channels, more than 7 people, obviously. And the project was originally organized, I believe, and someone had to take the lead and put in all the energy. So Matthew, who had to do all that?
Mostly, basically, we just wanted, really, honestly, the whole thing started because we wanted to do a collaboration with Sandy. And that's why it started, and then it just grew into something amazing. So yeah, she's one of our favorite channels, and we just had to do a collaboration with her. So and so we were just figured out what working, and we're like, does anybody want in on this? And a bunch of people did, and it turned out really cool. So yeah, we were excited about it.
Yeah, we were happy with how many people we were able to bring into it.
Yeah. And from what I understand, the idea to do games was actually from Sandy, right?
yeah. We're like, what do you want to do? And we're in. So yeah.
That's awesome. And then, so what was the experience like from there?
Yeah. We just we posted on your Facebook group,
our Facebook group,
our Facebook group, Woodworking YouTubers. Anybody went in on this, and then we started a chat, and then we decided that half a year away we would.
I don't know why we need a big due date for it.
Not nearly enough time.
Man.
I think that's awesome, and I think initially a lot more people, there's a lot more interest, as it is anytime that idea first goes out there. Would anybody like to do a collaboration? But I think realism and realistic, what can get done, comes into play, and people start dropping out. They say, I can't make it. I can't get it done. That date doesn't work for me, or it doesn't go into the scheme of what I want to do on my channel. And that's fine. Those of us who were left, we appreciated it. And it was fun going back and forth with
yeah, it's like any birthday party. You invite like a dozen kids and hope like eight show, right? Like
yeah.
Usually about 7 or 6 show though.
You got 8 people to show up to your birthday? That was better than me.
Dude.
Yeah, and I was lucky to get anybody to show up. So that's great. So last time we did a collaboration and we came on here, I was newer at this, and we kind of had some preset questions. Tonight we're just going to chat. We're just going to do things a little bit different. But I think a lot of the questions will be similar. So first of all, I'm going to put it out there. Does anybody have any frustrations they ran into as they prepared to do this and as that date approached?
Me? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was in Panama. I was on holidays. I was supposed to go in April, and that got canceled. Went to Panama, and of course, I recorded like a couple hours before I left for the airport, and then had to do the voiceover and the hotel room, and yeah, good thing I picked like 6 months out. Yeah.
Well, that's always a possibility whenever you set the date so far out that you're going to have conflicts that you don't even have scheduled yet come up.
Yeah.
I know for me, just like the last one, I'm procrastinated getting started, and then my technology failed me, and I was thinking at the last minute I wasn't going to have time because my amount of my job, my work has increased, and I didn't have time to put into the editing and filming like I wanted to. So in the end, I had to cut some corners, but put out what I thought was a decent video. And I could have made it better if I'd made more time for it. Anybody else have a struggle?
Well, I had problems with editing. A couple days in, I had everything filmed. It was done. But I thought I'm going to do it on my phone this time. I'm going to just do it on my iPhone. I'm going to film it. I'm going to edit on my iPhone, just so that I could work on it while I was at work on my, because this is not my regular 9-to-5 job, believe it or not. So that was my plan. But every time I went to export it, there was something wrong with the export. So then I had to go put it into my computer and actually edit it, redo the whole thing, redo the voiceovers. And I was doing that like the day before we were supposed to upload. So, but I made it. I'm glad I made it.
Yay.
I'm going to share a milestone here. Everman Builds says, went on a live stream that was hosted the likes of Steve Ramsey, the Wood Whisperer, and more. That's a biggie, right? Well, we appreciate you coming on the live stream. Jack, what time is it on the other side of the pond?
It is midnight.
Fantastic. So it's still early. You got all day with us.
Yeah, I got about another 2 hours in me.
Yeah. Since you're there already, I got to ask, is tomorrow any better?
No. It sucked about as much as yesterday so far.
Well, all right.
So, Jack, while we got you on the screen, how did you land on what's it called, Sling Puck?
Yeah. So I have a big list of things that I want to do video-wise and just general building stuff. And I saw Sling Puck probably about 6 months ago, maybe a year ago. I saw a video of it and I went, I'm going to build one of them for my kids. They're going to love it because they love air hockey. And this is just air hockey with no air. So that's how I kind of landed on the idea. And then I saw the post. I think Matt put it in the other chat that we had. And I thought, that's the incentive I need to get this done. It ties in with the theme of building a game. It crosses something off my list. It gets something for my kids to play with. Win all around.
Absolutely. What was the hardest part of designing it or building it?
Nothing really. I mean, it's a really simple thing. It's a flat piece of wood and some other flat pieces of wood all glued together. That's it. Oh. The hardest bit about it was finding the time to do it. And I, stupidly for myself, kind of got into 2 collaborations at the same time. The other one came out about a couple of weeks beforehand for Maker's Rock. And in my video, you can see the CNC running in the background, carving that collaboration. And I edited that on the day that went live. And I edited this one on the day this one went live. Because I just didn't plan very well.
Yeah.
So I think that's a common theme among everybody here.
For a beginning woodworker who's getting started, would you recommend that project for him?
Yes. I mean, it's a very simple thing. It looks a lot better than it should, I think. It looks a lot more complicated than it perhaps is, but it is just a couple of pieces of flat wood glued together in a rectangle.
Awesome. Okay, Dad Cave, I know you had made a shot ski before.
I did.
And for those that don't know, a shot ski is clearly for Jarod to go skiing with and has nothing to do with gatherings with friends where they drink their Kool-Aid.
Well, I mean, it could. It could have fun. It could be fun with friends. But no, I did make one before, and I wanted to actually improve on it. And this was the one way that I knew how to, or let me rephrase. It was the opportunity that I had to actually do it better than I did the first time. And that was kind of the motivation I needed. So I thought to myself, there's got to be a better way to hold the glasses to the board. So I decided to try and use magnets, and that actually worked out great. So
if there's liquid in the cups, is there any problem with the weight of that with the magnets, or are they strong enough?
no, they're strong enough. Matter of fact, I mean, okay, that didn't work. But I mean, they stick on pretty good. So yeah, I haven't had any problems with that. I didn't actually give it an official test run though, because I couldn't find 4 people that were over the age of 21 at the time I made the video to test it with me. But and actually, I can't keep this one. I have to sell it. It's going somewhere else. It's not mine.
Yeah. So 2M Builds says, I bet I make 3 to 4 shot skis a month. They're huge sellers. Love your idea with the magnets.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for that. And they are big sellers. Matter of fact, before the pandemic, I think I had probably around like 10 orders for them, and they were selling, they were moving. And then the pandemic happened, and it all just kind of went away because to try to make a shot ski and make a social distancing shot ski, that's going to be pretty big. I don't think I have the space for that. So
yeah, I don't know. It'd be a ski at that point.
it might
maybe a longboard.
Yeah, I don't know what you would call it at that point.
Yeah. So I think that would be pretty popular. All right, Mr. Greedy. I mean, Chris, how'd you come up with your game?
Well, it's a game that we've played in my family. My mom taught me long ago, and we've morphed the rules over the years a little bit. And as I was doing some research into it, I found there is a game actually called Greed, but it uses letter dice. And there are a few other dice games that use very similar rules to the ones we use. But the issue with the game is you've got your playing field, and usually we just play on a table. But at some point, you set some dice aside, and then you pass them over to another player. And as you're passing those dice over to another player, without fail, they get mixed up, and the ones that are supposed to be segregated don't get segregated or get changed. And so I decided to just make this to where I can segregate the dice that are out of play, and that way you can hand the playing field over, and people know that these are the dice that are still in play. So it made sense, and it was an idea that I came up with a while back. And as we were looking into this collaboration, I started thinking about what I could do, and I wanted to do something that needed a CNC, or at least was made considerably easier with a CNC. And that's when I came up with the idea that if I hollow this part out back here, that'd be quite difficult to do from one piece of wood without a CNC. It would take some pretty precise router work, or you just have to glue this piece in and just make a regular catch-all. But I figured it would be a good chance for me to play with my design in the CNC, and then I took the laser CNC in and cut out the felt for the playing board to quiet that down a little bit. And I was just going to go with green, but I bought a few colors, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to throw a word in there. And after some talk with the kids over doing Greed across here or doing a few other things, we decided on this design, and I really like how it turned out. And we've had a chance to play on it a few times since then, and it works really well for how we wanted it to work.
That's awesome.
He said the key word there, if you picked it up, he said, I got to use the CNC machine. Just saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't spend the money on it if you don't get to use it.
I don't think any of us would have trouble not using it. It's just, trying to convince our better halves that we need one.
And the space.
Convincing the bank that I needed one and that I was good for the money.
Well, I guess there's that too.
It's a matter of mind over matter. If the bank don't mind, it don't matter. So
there you go.
It's I would love a CNC, but there's a cost aspect and a space aspect.
So I can help you out on the cost there, RT. The next time that your wife gives you that honey-do list that you're talking about before, let her know that some of those items on there will require the use of a CNC machine.
Yeah, and at that point she'll say, it'd be cheaper to hire someone else than for you to buy another machine.
It would be cheaper to hire somebody else, and it would be faster to make it by hand than learning how to program it and setting it up and carving it and then finishing it by hand. But we need them. We definitely
Absolutely.
need CNC
I
machines.
agree.
Yeah. Sandy.
Hello.
You came up with a tic-tac-toe game. You made an incredible video, and you included your mom.
Yeah.
I adore it.
Oh, nice.
So what led you to do that? I mean, I saw the product that you used to actually do the faux burn on the wood, and it turned out great.
Yeah, well, first I started with games. So I built a couple years ago, and I've got video of it, and I've got video of my daughters building it, Pegs and Jokers. And we love it. We play it like every Christmas and every we're always playing it. And then I designed another one, Dice Poker, and it's kind of a combination of sequins and Yahtzee. The problem with both of them is I thought my retention and people would drop off because they don't know the game. I thought maybe I'd have to simplify, like, not only am I building a game, then I'm explaining how to play the game and stuff. So then I thought, okay, tic-tac-toe. Everybody knows tic-tac-toe. And I started designing that and journaling. I'm a big planner. I like to script and plan. So I started scripting it and planning it. And then it was Mother's Day, and I'm like, ooh, #mom. And then my mom is 91. So I had to have her in it. And yeah, it all just came together. And the wood burning, it's a product I made. It's Dragon's Breath, and it's a gel. I don't know if you guys seen those pyrography pens.
Yes.
Yeah, so I started playing around with those, and they just like run all over your board and they seep into the wood, and I just couldn't get a good burn with it. So then I started experimenting with this. I did a lot of research and I did a lot of testing, and mine is more like a jelly. So I thought, oh, I'll wood burn it.
Yeah. So where can we buy that?
Well, it's in testing phase right now, and I'm probably in September, maybe August or September, it'll be ready. I'll ship it out from Florida. I've got someone in Florida that's going to ship it out for me. But yeah.
Awesome.
Are you
I'm
looking for
definitely
beta
interested in
testers?
that.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll burn stuff. I'll burn it. I
Okay.
like to burn stuff.
Right.
Do you know what I like about it? I don't want to toot my own horn, but I've been wood burning since I was 8. Oh, look at my hands. I got stain on them. I was in the shop today. I got black stain. The selling point for this is I made a big, huge pallet. I've been wood burning since I was 8. I had one of, those crappy little burners you get with the little kit with the little pieces of wood, and they had like horses and stuff in them. Anyway, I started with that, and I spent a fortune on really good burners. Like I have like all kinds of pens, and you can adjust the heat, temperature, and everything. So I made this big, huge pallet, and I did a circle and Southampton and a lighthouse and everything. Um, and it took me a week, and my wrist was killing me. but I couldn't get a consistent burn. When you're burning cedar or like wood burning, basswood and butternut is wonderful. There's no wood grain. It'll just go like butter, like. But if you wanted to do something outdoors or something in cedar or pine, it's so hard because it's light and dark and light and dark. And then it digs into the wood grain and then it comes out and then it digs in. And so it doesn't care. It doesn't care about the wood grain. It doesn't care about the sap pockets. And it just burns evenly. You get to control the heat with your heat gun. So it really doesn't care about the wood grain. So that's my pitch.
I'll be putting that on my wish list when it's available.
Oh,
It's
you
already
guys,
on my wish list.
you guys are definitely getting some, like for sure. And RT, I'm shipping you a bunch to give away and for yourself to use. And yeah,
that'd be
it's
awesome.
fun. It's fun.
Yeah. So guys, raise your hand if you'll do a review on your channel.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely.
That's all perfect. That's all I
Yeah.
need.
Sandy's like the Oprah of this live stream. Hold on, let me check under
And
my
you
seat.
get a
Here's-
dragon's breath.
You get a
and
dragon's
you get a
breath.
dragon's breath,
Oh, my
and
teeth.
you get- I want to be Vanna too.
Right.
That's awesome.
I'll take a D.
Uh,
All right. Hugh. Let me see
Hey.
if I can make you larger.
And my beard, awesome. Oh no.
nice.
You're growing your beard out now?
That was really quick, but
Yeah.
Got-
So Hugh, how'd you come up with yard dice?
well, I initially had the intentions on building something more complicated. Really turns out, and I had started to make some cornhole boards that I was gonna incorporate some other crazy stuff. And it turns out with the setup I've got right now, being in my in-laws' house with my tools partially in storage, partially in the garage, and it wasn't working out. They looked terrible, and the footage kept deleting off my phone. And so I was like, I need to figure out something a little easier. And actually, my wife said, why don't you make like some giant yard dice or something like that? And she's the voice of reason in our house. So I was like, well, that's probably a good idea.
All right. Well, how do you what's the rules of the game? How do you play yard dice?
Well, so you can, there's like Yahtzee and Farkle and things like that. I didn't know about like copyright issues and things like that. And I tend to babble. And I knew that if I tried to explain the rules, I would either get them wrong or I don't know. So I decided just to make it, here's the dice and do with them what you will. My kids throw them at each other. We had a good time. I think we played Farkle for a little bit. I don't know if you played that one, but it's a dice game. And I guess you can, I wanted to leave it up to the viewer to make up whatever the rules they're going to do.
Yeah. And for our audience, I just want to say no children were harmed in the making of this dice video.
That's right.
I was going to say that sounded dangerous for me. We've heard of lawn darts getting kids in trouble, but yard dice, watch out.
I mean, they're bowling with the dice at each other.
I got to give you props. We're all sitting here in our air conditioned, well lit HD camera YouTube streaming studios, and are you still on your cell phone? Is your power still out?
Yeah, our power's out, and if I go outside, it's really windy, and my kids are out there. So even if it weren't windy, they're so loud.
You're broadcasting on 4G.
Throwing the dice at each other.
So if I'm doing that, then I'm sorry. Yeah.
No props to you.
My battery's holding out for now, so
I appreciate you making it happen.
I appreciate you having me.
No chance of recharge, and he's burning his battery here with us. That's true.
That's dedication, and that's the same dedication of what, like 4 o'clock in the morning, you were sitting there cutting out the yard dice with a handsaw. I mean,
Caffeine
I
powered
wouldn't use a
handsaw.
handsaw. No way.
Caffeine powered.
Caffeine powered tools.
Yes.
Hugh's videos are hilarious.
I mean,
He
that's-
is straight
that's
up one
my
of the most underrated YouTube channels on YouTube. Hugh
I
is
agree.
like straight up underrated. I don't know if there's people out there who haven't subscribed to him, but straight up, Hugh's an awesome channel.
Yeah.
Well, you got to watch his short on the how to make your own lumber.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a game changer right there. I'm telling you.
If you haven't tried it,
That got me to subscribe.
I appreciate it. I'll take it. Anything I can do to be an idiot for you all, I'm happy to do. Comes so naturally. It's just I just hit record and I don't know what else is gonna happen. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. So, Sandy, you're a moderator. As we go along, would you mind dropping the links to people's channels in the chat so
Sure. Yep.
we can make sure PJ and everyone else has a chance to see who's out there? I apologize if it's not in the description. I thought, yeah, all the channel links are in the description.
Okay.
So if you are watching this on replay or you don't catch it in the chat, then don't worry about it. You can go to the description of this video and you can find their links there. And I appreciate that. And yeah, I think everybody should subscribe to everyone that's here. Hugh is probably the newest channel here and growing. So keep it up, Hugh.
Will do. I appreciate it.
All right. Friday workshop. You went with a wooden game board, and it's a game that I wasn't familiar with, but it looked great whenever you were done. How did you get inspired to go that direction?
Well, it's a game that we play a lot, so that's why we decided to go with that one. Mostly we thought it'd just be fun.
Yeah, we played a lot as a family, and there's this thing where you buy all these expansion cards to it, and really the board is starting to get useless to us because we have so many cards for it. So we're like, we'll just make our own. That's kind of like how we get new things in the kitchen, or well, we don't have this. Well, let's just make something. And so we were just like, well, this is perfect. So.
Awesome. And have you played it since you made it?
No, we haven't. So we have to put one more clear coat on it that we didn't put on the video. But yeah, for sure. It's super awesome though. We're excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun to use because it's gonna be a lot more space than usual.
Yeah, we played with the die for sure, but we haven't used the board yet. We're excited.
Yeah.
So compared to some of your recent videos, like you've done these paint comparisons and stain comparisons, and you've done several things like that recently, right? How did making this type of video, how does that experience compare to doing, comparing paints and other things you've done recently?
I think it's been a bit different. Mostly it's been kind of similar. The editing style that we've chosen for it's much different because we're not sitting there in one spot talking the entire time. Maybe we'll split up the clips. We have to go back to how we used to go with different areas and filming each part of the process of it. So it's a little bit different, but otherwise it's still recording something that's woodworking related. So it's pretty similar usually.
Yeah, a build versus a review is a little different in the process and how we approach it for sure. And then the comparing videos where we have to run an experiment and we hope it turns out one way and then it inevitably doesn't.
Yeah, we expect one thing to happen and the opposite happens. For example, we did a tape video a while back. We thought the $1 tape was going to do really well. If you want a new door stopper, those are really easy and cheap to buy.
yeah, the painter's tape comparison, the dollar store tape did not hold up. We thought it would be like, here's a great equivalent to
These
to painter's
expensive
tape.
ones.
Yeah, no.
It's hard to beat frog tape. I mean, I know it's expensive, but I was surprised how poorly the dollar store tape did. I mean, you couldn't even use it. It was tearing apart on you just getting it off the reel. So.
Yeah. It was pretty rough. Yeah.
I failed a lot of times getting it off for like that one test. I was able to get maybe like 5 inches before it split again.
We even cut a bunch out of it, because it was just so hard to do. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Last year in the heat of summer, you had 2 or 3 weeks maybe where you had to do videos inside because it was just too hot outside. Are you going to run into that again this year, or are you able to record enough videos ahead of time? What's your plan there?
Yeah, I think we have 2 things. Either Dom's going to do some more PowerPoints, right? Or we are only a 5-hour drive away from Custom Creative Carvings, and we might get into his air-conditioned shop and do a shop tour or something. So that's always a possibility too. So road trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tax deductible, right?
Absolutely. You guys are welcome to come on down. We'll do a collab. We'll hang out, do a barbecue. We'll have some fun.
See, one of the benefits of being in the UK is I don't need air conditioning.
The Prince of Woodworking, the Earl of YouTube, is speaking up, bragging about his non-air conditioned use. Jack.
You need heating though.
Yeah. So, does it rain a lot where you're at, Jack?
It was raining quite hard today. We were meant to have thunderstorms today, but tomorrow it's meant to be 24 degrees, which is about 70, mid-70s, 80.
Yeah.
So it's hot tomorrow.
I like how you know the conversions, and you know that by just putting Celsius on something, I wouldn't know what you're saying. So I appreciate I appreciate that. So let's see, Chris. So you and Friday Workshop got together. How did that happen?
I found out that I had the opportunity to make it up to his neck of the woods. I'd heard last collab that he was up in that area and I was going up there. So I reached out to him and asked if I could stop in next time I was up. He's like, well, yeah, but I'm going to be gone for this whole time. So probably not going to work. I'm like, how's tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, I'll be there. And so he invited me over and we had a great conversation. I had spent all night on a bus, so he let me even crash for an hour or two, and then we shot a couple of videos. It was great to hang out with him, meet Matt and Dom in person, not just over the screen. So it was awesome, and I'm jealous with how efficient his system is up there. I mean, he's got everything so well laid out that he does twice as much as I do with 1/4 of what I've got. So I'm awesome. Impressed with their setup.
Yeah. I was Dom's irrigation skills.
Say that again, Hugh.
I said I was impressed with Dom's interrogation skills. I mean,
yeah, you're going to work in the CIA, aren't you, Dom?
It's a backup plan.
I just realized that Dom and Matt are my most frequent guests on the live stream. This is your 3rd time being on here, isn't it?
We just do a lot of collabs. We like to do videos with tons of other people. It's just fun for us.
Yeah.
And we sneak on with other people because of that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I think AJ's been on here, like for the Workbench Con, and John's been on a couple of times, but I think you're the only ones that have been on 3 times. So, wow.
Like Steve Martin, do we get the jacket after so many appearances? Or?
Yeah, it's in the mail. Yeah. All right. Well, that's awesome. I was looking to see if we had any questions. I thank you, Sandy, for dropping all those links. If anybody has any question for the guest, I'm looking, but I don't see any right now. But feel free to drop them. We'll try to get them answered. I'd like to know more about what you guys have coming up. I mean, does anybody planning a Father's Day centered video coming out on your channel?
You're talking. That's some dangerous territory to be talking about.
That's a lot of commitment. I don't know if
yeah.
I have a lot of things on the works, but I don't know if I'm going to get a video done.
Okay. Yeah, I've been pitching some ideas in my head, but I don't know if I will have time, and I can't commit to it. Is there what kind of videos do you have coming up, Chris? I'll start with you. I know you've got things in the works.
Beekeeping season just recently kicked off, and I've fired back up. I've got an apiary going this year, and so I'm doing a lot of bee-centric stuff. I actually just posted a short yesterday, day before, of a swarm I caught the day before that. But with wood prices going up and everything going up, I need to save money wherever I can, and wax is not cheap, so I'm going to make my own. So I've got a couple of beekeeper type projects that I've filmed. I'm working on editing now that are focused on the woodworking end of making stuff for beekeeping. So I've got a couple of those coming up. I've been doing a lot of retirement gifts, and I've been doing little shorts and little snippets of things that I've been making. And I've held off on doing a video that includes an entire finished product. It's just, oh, here's a little bit here and here's a little bit there. But special treat for the viewers tonight. I'm going to show you guys my finished sword, or one of my finished swords.
Hold on. I'm going to.
Oh, you're gonna make
you big screen here.
Wow,
Check that out.
That's beautiful.
So maple blade, walnut handle, CNC and laser engraved blade. So I've been making a few of these, and they're really fun to make, really challenging to make, because I make it all on the CNC. I cut that on the CNC, and then I cut that on the CNC, and it is just a headache. But it's a nice little sword. It's and they're challenging, but they're worth it. And it is actually a mortise and tenon handle, so that blade does have a tang that comes down into the handle, which is, I think, pretty cool. But
awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, PJ.
PJ says beautiful. Two Elms Bill says nice.
Thanks, Two Elms.
Yeah,
that would look good next to my Thor hammer.
Yes.
I could probably, and I'm sure that I could probably find a way to incorporate a bottle opener into that too.
You
do, don't you?
Probably could.
What? Yeah, I was about to say. I thought somebody was going to say you need to build a shield to go with that.
Yeah,
that's
I
next
did.
on my list of CNC things. I want to do
Yeah,
a high roll
I've got the shield. I don't actually. Hold on, wait. I was going to say I don't have one with me, but.
Ooh.
Wow.
Hold on.
That's beautiful.
So that mounts right there. This one doesn't have the finish on it. I've got to shellac it still, That's why it's in here. But yeah, I do have a shield. So again, another one that I've done little videos of. That's a
what's the
great thing
cutout
about
for?
CNC is you can make big stuff and then turn them around and make little baby ones. It's so cute, isn't it? You can scale stuff really easy when you got the CNC.
Wow.
How will the sword actually hang on it?
I actually made little brackets on the laser that I cut out of acrylic. Got the shout out. I haven't peeled it off, but I got my name laser engraved in there. And so this wedges into the slots I've got on the shield, and then it actually just locks in and holds there. So very, very minimal reveal on the bracket.
Nice.
And so it'll hold there just with a little bit of acrylic. So I'm using everything, my CNC, my laser, everything. I need see, you know how awesome it would be to be able to do these flames in Dragon's Breath?
Yeah.
That would be so awesome.
That would be.
I need it.
You need it. I send it to you. I send it to you.
Nice. All right. Had a question from Rick, who thank you very much for the question. How often do you all do collabs? So I know for me, this is my second time doing a collaboration. The first time was the Christmas gift boxes right before Christmas. So, and Jack made a box that I keep right here and sent it to me. And that was a great collaboration. And, you know, inside the box, he put some Australian beeswax, which I use on my beard. It's about gone. But so this is my second one, though. But I hope to be able to do some more, but just because they're so much fun. Sandy, how about you? How many have you done?
I'm pivoting my channel. I was a DIY channel. So I was a DIY channel, and it's a big, huge community. And I did a lot of collaborations. Sometimes it was like almost weekly, but I'm kind of getting away from that. I'm pivoting away from that, getting into a sawmill channel, and then I'm gonna start a second channel, but it's gonna be like hashtag shorts and just fun. It's just gonna be fun. And then I'm not gonna be like, oh, you gotta niche down and you gotta follow these rules and try to grow and all that crap. I'm just gonna I'm a student of YouTube, and I don't like screwing around on my main channel. So yeah, so a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of stuff happening in the future.
Yeah, I've got a strategy where like you guys say, oh, what's your next video? What I do is I have buckets. I'm a student of Daryl Eves, and instead of videos, you have buckets. So if you look on my channel, it's organized by buckets. So I always know which is my next video, because like one is like, say one is check us out, like it's more like personal stuff, getting to know us. And then the next one will be like cutting trees. So it'll be like cutting cedar, cutting ash, cutting. And then the next one will be sawing at the sawmill, like cutting ash or sawing ash, sawing maple at the sawmill. So I always know if there's two in this bucket, I got to add to the next bucket. So I always go in order. It gives them breathing room. And hopefully when YouTube AI catches on, it'll say like, oh, if they like this video, they're going to like all 5 of these in that bucket, and they'll push all 5. So that's what I'm working at. I'm just filling my buckets.
Yeah, I think that's a great concept, and the idea of setting up your homepage that way too, you know, so that things are grouped with playlist.
You don't have to think about it. And then you can easily like Okay, so my next one is going to be at the sawmill. Well, I know the other two videos in that bucket are 3 minutes long. So I'm going to do one very similar. It's going to be 3 minutes. It's going to be at the sawmill. It takes all the stress and the guesswork out of it. I have 5 buckets, so every 5 weeks I hit that bucket. And then like it gives the AI, it gives YouTube time to breathe, and so hopefully, yeah, hopefully it'll take off one day.
You're doing great. You just YouTube's got to help. YouTube's got to figure out all your target audience, and then you're going to be getting that silver and gold play buttons. So how about you, Dad Cave? What? How many collaborations have you done?
Well, let's see. I think this marks. I think it's number 3 for me. I'd done 2 others prior. Yeah, so I think it's 3. I did one, and actually it was one of my more successful videos, which I was pretty surprised. I didn't expect that it was going to do all that well, but it did. I made one of those sofa side tables for another YouTuber, and we did a collab, and we sent one to each other. That was actually pretty cool. That was with Jacob over at it's now it used to be Native Son Wood Art. Now it's Maker's Cuisine. He's kind of changing format on his channel, and I also did one with the DIY Man channel, and that's where we did just a short collab. But then that's when he sent me this homemade pocket hole jig to improve. So yeah, I think this is number 3. And as far as future ones, I do have one coming up with actually another channel, but it's not woodworking related. It's just for fun, and that's going to be a sippy cup challenge. But we're going to make our own sippy cups, and we're going to have a vote on it, see who likes who gets the most votes. But like I said, just a little bit of fun.
Nice.
But they're it's kind of hard to get collabs done. Just being able to commit to one and be able to follow up on all the deadlines and stay caught up with everything that's going on, interact with everybody. And then I think the biggest challenge is after the collab's done. Okay, hey, are we ever going to talk again or what? That's kind of what's in the back of my mind, because when you have a good experience with a group of people like we did in this one, it'd be really awesome to do more of that in the future, even if it's not just wooden games, if it's other things. But so that's kind of where I'm at with collabs, but definitely looking into doing more of them. And if anybody's here in Southern California that wants to stop by, let me know. I got cold beer in the Dad Cave, and yeah, we can make some videos too.
Yeah, I'm in South Carolina. It'd be tough.
If that's an open invitation, I'll stop in next month. I'm going to be down by the coast, northern San Diego County.
Oh, dude, I'm in Temecula. It's just like 45 minutes away from San Diego.
All right. Yeah, I know
make that work.
the area. We'll be in Carlsbad.
Okay. Cool.
So
we could
definitely
do that.
have to swing by. I might actually get a woodworking video out, or at least a short collab while I'm down there, instead of just taking time off.
Hey, right on. I'm totally down for that.
How far are you from Los Angeles? I'm in Los Angeles in September.
Depending on day and traffic conditions, it could be 2 hours. It could be 4 hours.
Okay.
About 10 miles.
10 miles.
Yeah.
And 7 hours in traffic.
Yeah, it depends also, like specifically what area too. Although we were trying, I know my family's been trying to make a trip out there. We want to get out there because there was a restaurant that we ate at while we were in New York, and apparently there's one in LA that's the same, and we want to go check it out because we liked it that much.
Nice.
For me, one of the benefits of doing this collaboration was it gave me a deadline, and I pushed towards that. I haven't made a full-length video this year. This was my first one. So I'm hoping this helps get me back on track. But I needed a deadline to make it happen. I'm not to the point that I have the computer I want, the camera I want, and all this stuff. So I use what I have and make videos. I need to get back to it. I need to make more and stop procrastinating and finding excuses. But I think you go through a collaboration, you build these bonds. It's really fun to IM back and forth with everybody. We jump on this live stream, hopefully have a good time. But at the end, it's almost like a graduation. Everybody kind of goes their separate ways. We all say we're going to stay in touch in the IM, and that's yet to be seen, if we will. A few of us on here were in a former collaboration together, and honestly, there's a chat out there for that. But how often have we been on it since a month after the project? Not too much. We went on to the next collaboration. I mean, if we're honest, right?
Making me feel bad.
I know. I'm gonna cry.
It's sad. It's sad. It's ending.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's great memories. We've built a bond, and anybody from that other collaboration reaches out to me, I'm happy to chat with them and everything. But the several times a week chatting back and forth, after a while, that tends to die down. That's just human nature, and nobody wants to admit it. But it's just like high school. My best friends in high school and I, we don't stay in touch hardly anymore.
Yeah.
But that's life. So let me stop bringing down the mood and move on to a different question. So, Hugh, is this your first collab?
Yes. Yeah, this was my first one. This was awesome. I didn't really know what to expect. I was kind of like, everyone else is gonna have awesome projects, and I'm gonna maybe be able to finish mine. And so this was so cool being able to chat with you all and kind of get tips. And so I'm grateful to be able to be a part of it. This is cool.
Yeah, I think it's great. Everybody's bouncing ideas off each other. Everybody has a different vision, and we all agreed we're going to make a game, but that leaves it wide open to what you can design and build. I think it's a fun concept. Now, Jack, of course, you were in the last collaboration with me, but what other collaborations have you done?
So I've only done 3. One was the box one was this one, and one was Maker's Rock, which had Mighty Sawdust in as well. He's in the chat somewhere. And also Shepherd's Workbench was in there. I don't know if he's here now, but he was there. So I've done 3. I will probably do more, but I don't have any lined up right now.
Yeah, they're fun, and otherwise it would be hard for me and Jack to get to know each other. We're on opposite sides of that big pond.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a wonderful thing, and hopefully a good experience for all. Here you go. We got another question. Mighty Sawdust, since you mentioned Mighty Sawdust, said, who's up for a shop storage solution? Open-ended, whether for French cleats or just overall. So, Chris, I see your hand up. I see Sandy's hand up.
I need it to be more general than French cleats, so I can make something for the wife, but get that CNC running for her because she let me pay for it. So
right,
she'll be woodworking.
She's a brilliant person. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So
I'm gonna have to pass on that one. I'm actually about ready to. I'm like this close to completely redoing everything here in the Dad Cave. I brought my entire streaming setup out to the garage, and now I have it set up permanent here because I didn't want to keep setting it up every single Monday when I do my live streams. But the problem is where I have it and the only place that it can fit, I now have this mess to look at behind me. I don't have my pallet wall anymore. I don't have that backdrop like I had before with all my tools on the wall. So I have to redo all that. So I probably will not
That
have
sounds
time for
like
a collab.
organization to me.
Yeah.
It does.
That's what we all.
but
That's
Sounds
what
like
we're
a
all doing is
video.
organization.
I might. We'll see. I'll see how it goes. If I can make it work, I'll get in contact with Mighty Sawdust and we'll figure that out.
One of my kids came out to the shop today, and we were talking, and I mentioned that there was another collab coming up for shop storage and organization, and he looked around and he said, "They're not letting you in on that one." Then I'm like, I'll make something else.
Oh man.
Yeah, we lost Hugh for a second. Oh, I think he's back.
He's back.
He's back.
Welcome back.
He has batteries.
It was almost a huge loss.
Oh man.
You gonna put up with that, Hugh?
Hopefully he doesn't have audio yet.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
He's
gonna
trying.
watch it on playback.
He's trying to look good for the camera right now. All right. I thought I saw another question.
Not one that needs to be brought up in public.
Okay. All right. Well, good. So if you could go back in time and change anything that you did about this collaboration and your build, what would you go back and do?
Not procrastinate.
I'd go back.
second that.
The first thing I'd do is go back in time.
You know what?
Yeah.
I wouldn't change a thing. I like this whole journey, like whether you've been on YouTube for 10 years or 2 years or 1 year, I think you really got to go through it. Like someone says, you know, there's some strategy or you should do this or you should do that. Like I'm on I don't know if a lot of people know, well, probably everyone knows this, but I'm on a bunch of drugs and I have brain fog. And you know what? I just wing it. Like I have to redo and rescript, and my brain is like I have brain fog, and I just wouldn't. I wait till the last minute. I procrastinate, but it's a journey. The whole thing is a journey, and you guys were great, and it's an amazing community. Like, holy crap, what you're building here, RT, is just like off the charts. So, yeah, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Yeah.
What kind of collaborations would have you seen that you think would be fun to be part of? I got to say that that Maker's Rock, where they made the album covers, I really watched. You know, I watched all those this year, and I thought, man, they're having fun with their creativity. You know, it's not what I normally think of whenever I think I want to go do woodworking, but it seems like fun. Or what other ones have you seen that just seem like they'd be fun to be part of?
So one that I want to do, or that I've seen done quite a few times, is like a 2x4 or a 4x2 build. You take one 2x4 and you build something, and everybody does something different. I've got a couple of things I want to build, and I'm going to try and build them out of one thing.
Yeah, I've often thought about the one board challenge. You know, you get one 2x4, for instance, and it has to be a construction grade 2x4, 8 feet long, and make whatever you want out of it. You know, that's the challenge. And I've seen some of those videos over the years, and that's pretty inspiring how creative people can be whenever you're limited, So, but it doesn't have to be 1 2x4, whatever board you settle on, right? I mean, some people have done a 2x6, but the concept is the same. Seems like it'd be fun.
I can't afford something that expensive. After the CNC, I mean, that'd be a bigger purchase than a CNC at this point.
I saw a collab. I saw a collab on another channel, and what they did was they actually took like pieces of wood and just like random stuff and sent it to another creator, another YouTuber, and said, "Here, make something with this." And that was actually pretty cool. And the one I saw, they took all these pieces and they actually made like this spiral lamp, and it was actually pretty cool to see something like that. That would be a bit of a challenge to have something sent to you, to not know what the contents are and not have any idea or expectation of what you could possibly do with it, and you just don't know until you open the box. That would be fun. That's something I would get in
crazy
on.
with like 6 or 7 people, where it's like an add to it challenge. We have no idea. Like what you envision even adding to it is changed by the time it gets to the next person.
That would be fun too.
Yeah, you could get a lot of, like, you can get some little wooden trinkets and stuff from the dollar store too, or something. Or you could get like, well, with Jack and I, shipping is ridiculous, but you could like throw in, everybody has one item they have to get from the dollar store or something, and then you have to go get all your stuff and then come up with something with using those supplies. But yeah, those mystery boxes, I saw PJ Barker, she mentioned mystery box. They're really popular with the DIY groups.
I'll throw out another idea. This was actually one of my early on videos, and surprisingly, it did pretty well. I was pretty impressed. But I did a $20 DIY challenge. That was the challenge, to take $20 and make something with it. So whatever I could get for free, whatever I could spend money on. But the idea was not to spend money. And that was, I made like a candle holder. And so that was, just something simple, but it was less than $20. That would be kind of cool too, to see what people can come up with.
Especially if you have a CNC.
Yeah, we might have to exclude a couple of people for that. Like,
some people might not be invited.
I'm just messing with you.
I was also thinking about since you mentioned CNC, I was thinking about like a simple tools challenge, where you have an idea but you're limited to standard tools, meaning like you would say a jigsaw and a screwdriver, no other power tools, where you limit the tools to make it more approachable by the DIY crowd.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I'm not gonna lie.
I like a 4-tool challenge where it's laser etcher, CNC, metal lathe, and then drum sander.
Can I at least use a mallet to hammer the screwdriver to chisel away the wood with? RC, or what are we doing here? I mean,
he's getting his mallet out.
True handmade. You actually have to go hewing the stone from the mountain to scrape away the bark from the trees.
I'm in. Y'all start without me.
I joined a pallet. Reminds me of Lincoln Street. I joined a pallet challenge, and oh man, it was awful. It was like, by the time I got that pallet apart, I was frustrated. Yeah.
That's a DIY project in and of itself.
Oh,
I mean,
it
taking pallets apart.
It is.
Yeah.
I didn't have one of those saw-alls. I'm like, oh, now I need another tool.
That's how it starts.
Yeah.
That's how it started for me. My wife says, "Can you build this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I'm gonna go to Home Depot." And then
You
I go to
don't
the
get
store.
another tool. RT said no more tools, no sawzall.
No more
Use
deals for
electricity.
you.
Hey, it was just an idea. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I've got my sawmill. I could do some big cutting, man.
Okay.
I'll make it work. I'll
You-
make it work.
You know what?
Nope.
Yeah,
Power
not
can't
everybody
use
got a sawmill in their backyard. I'm pretty
Screwdriver.
jealous of that too.
Yeah.
Not DIY.
Well,
Gotta use a screwdriver.
there you go. You can do a collaboration. Come down to the sawmill. We'll teach you how to use it, and you could build something.
There we go.
There we go.
I would
And-
somehow get cut in half by the saw. I've one of the things that I did with my video was I used cameo videos from some of the other creators, which I really appreciate you taking the time to make, so that I could work those in. I wanted to work in more, but I've been trying to think about that too, is how we could, or how I could do more collaboration where it's like a digital collaboration, so people see, hey, there's Sandy showing up in RT's video again, that kind of thing.
I'm reading AJ's comment. The best way to break apart a pallet is to take it and throw it off the nearest cliff. It's so true.
But then he said, I kid.
Oh, so true.
Yeah, AJ just released another video too. Good job, AJ, on that one. And Dad Cave agreed with him, of course.
Absolutely. When I got done making my I didn't even done. I got like halfway done with the wall. I've got probably 10 pallets in my backyard right now that are ready to go and to be broken apart to finish that wall. But that's just it. I got to break them apart. And I look at it, and every time I look at it, I say, I'm going to finish that wall. I'm going to finish it. Then I look at the pile of pallets, and I'm like, I'm not going to do it.
I know.
All in all, it's just another pallet in the wall.
Yeah.
So now that's the other reason I think I'm going to go and rearrange everything, because I can take the shelves behind me and I can put them on the wall that's not finished, and then you can't even tell. It's like you won't see it. So if it's out of sight, out of mind, then hey, that's a win for me.
I think I'm just gonna take a bunch of 1x4s and make it look like a pallet. Just like, give me all your 1x4s, Andy. I can't take those apart. I got a whole backyard full of pallets too. It's like, why?
They're frustrating. That's for sure. And we all think it's great or at some point we thought it was a good idea because it's free wood.
Free.
Yeah. But the pallets are made to be sturdy. They carry around a lot of material for years, some of them. So they're not going to come apart very easily. If they do, something's really wrong.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Dom, what is your business plan or YouTube dreams, or like you're really young at this? Like what's your thoughts?
Well, mostly I don't have too big of goals for it. Mostly my current goals are try to make the best video I can, try to just figure out how it's working, try to aim for how I can improve it in the future, and like try and figure out like how we can like make the projects that we do in videos and try to sell them out some way. And I'm thinking it could turn out pretty well if we're able to put it all together.
Nice. Yeah, I sell a lot of stuff at the farmers market. It is good to like we have a sawmill business, and we sell it a lot of wood in that, but this YouTube thing is like a whole different thing. I don't know, thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Everybody's channel has kind of like their own bend to it, you know, and like what they do, and really cool stuff that's going on. Like the Dad Cave, we love his live specials. If it was just a different day, for sure.
Yeah.
And Chris does amazing stuff with the CNC. I mean, it's just incredible work, you know. And like,
Nice.
nobody can look as good in an elf suit as Everman Builds. Like, it's just
thought he
it's
could live it down.
amazing,
Nope.
you know. Like what everybody has their own the stuff. It's super cool. Yeah, Sandy's funny as heck, like legit funny. And so yeah, we just have a blast. Anytime we can collaborate with any of you guys, it's a fun community and it's fun. We're not really on this to be millionaires. We're just kind of here to have fun with people. And
Wait, that wasn't the goal?
Oh,
wait.
So there's his
Wow,
business plan.
Much
He does.
like it sounds like Don has different ideas of how this is going to play out.
yeah.
I
Good
think
luck.
Dom's more
Yeah.
interested in sponsors than Matt is. So
Yeah, the beginning, he was like, Makita. I'm like, Makita's there. We have like 100 subscribers at the beginning. Perfect.
Well, what are they going to say? No. I mean, you don't lose anything, right?
Yeah.
got to start somewhere.
Yeah, he's like, wood glue.
Aw, PJ Parker, I could be your best friend. We're besties. I could do that. Aw.
That's awesome. So Rick's saying, how about a wooden spool challenge?
We're talking
is it?
spool like the big
wire
giant
spool,
wire
the
spool
giant wire
used for your dining
spool.
room
It's like a
table when you're
pallet
broke?
for wire,
Mm.
except
Okay.
10 times as much metal, nails and screws and bolts and things that destroy saws. Yeah, let's do it. Harder to get large, harder to build stuff out of. It's like the pallet challenge on, like, I don't know, hardness level.
Unless you build a round coffee table.
Yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of round coffee tables. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
it's
wouldn't even
really
know what
hard
to
to it's really hard to like hide my emotions. Like no, no,
You're all about the pallet, but you're
no. I am not about the palette. No, I'm out. I'm voted off the island. I'm out.
PJ, we need to specify
says a
you
whiskey
are
barrel.
speaking of making something out of a whiskey barrel, not emptying a whiskey barrel, right? That's a different kind of challenge right there.
That's
I
a
might be willing
different
to try
show
to make a
altogether,
whiskey barrel.
Chris.
The Dad Cave is all in. He's like, I'm getting that barrel. I'm gonna make swish. I'm gonna rock that barrel.
Well, I'll invite some friends over. We'll make a dent in it some way. But then we'll wait till we're sober to build something out of the barrel.
Well, thank you for that.
Absolutely. Safety first.
Safety first.
Yeah. No, I think all the collabs we've talked about could be fun, and I think selecting the right collab with the right people and setting a realistic timeline.
Okay,
is
I got
essential.
one. I got one.
Go.
May the 4th be with you of 2023.
Star Wars challenge could be cool.
There we
All
go.
right, we'll do it the week
May,
Okay,
before.
so-
May the 4th
we
was
have, like-
actually replaced by This is the May.
You got a year. Come on.
I got to say, we got like what, like 10 months and 2 weeks to do it.
I think we're going to need some more time. That does not give me enough time to procrastinate
Well,
quite enough.
RT, like really, if you really dove deep, RT's last video was the last collab. Sorry, RT. Sorry.
I think my last woodworking video was. My last
You get
project
4
was a
plungers,
collab.
and then whatever you can make with the wood out of 4 plungers.
Yeah. Rick, what are you saying here? I made a gnome house for the wife out of a wooden spool. Turned out pretty well.
Cool.
I
I'm
need to see
sure
pictures.
that would be a fun project. finding. I don't even know where I would find a wooden spool.
Power companies.
Okay.
I do want to throw out there. Hugh ghosted, but he did drop in our private chat. Said his phone was at 1%, and so he said goodbye via text. So
Yeah. Bye bye, Hugh. I
he held out while he could.
Appreciate you being here. So, all right, we've talked about what's next for you. We've talked about collabs. So, let's have a round robin where you give me a sentence or two about why someone should subscribe to your channel. And I'll give you 3 seconds to prepare. 3, 2. All right, Jack, you go.
Because you're not already.
Nice.
Because you're not already. Okay, Sandy.
It's a little bit of storytelling. It's my journey, my life of woodworking, sawmill. My hubster's been a lumberjack since he was 18, and he's an old man now. He's like, yeah. So come on with the journey.
And you'll have fun watching Sandy have fun. She's humorous. Jarod.
Oh, I was hoping at least to have a few more seconds to think. You know what? No, when it comes down to it, if you're looking for like one-day DIY projects and inspiration to take your projects to the next level, then that's why you should subscribe. So.
Ooh, good answer.
Nice. Chris.
Because the new season of New Blood can only last so long. So if you want to continue to watch me cut stuff up, you're going to have to come to my channel.
Friday workshop.
Oh, yeah. You should like and subscribe.
And turn on that bell notification so you can stay tuned and watch all the videos that we post. Because we post every single Friday, sometimes even more than that.
Yeah, we post a ton of content every single Friday and often more.
Friday workshop.
Friday workshop.
Friday workshop.
And Married Man Woodworking. If you like small, typically small projects, or you like tool reviews that are affordable in a very tiny space, where I use my yard as my shop most of the time, you may enjoy it. If you like this type of content, and I have good guests on here every week, then subscribe to this channel. But I appreciate everybody being on here. And everybody, can you hold on.
Thanks for putting this together, Friday. Thanks for hosting us tonight.
Absolutely.
Married Man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You gonna
thanks
sign
to
us out
Everman
properly
for
this
staying
time?
logged on.
Say bye-bye.
You gonna sign us out properly this time, or are you gonna miss it on the live stream like you did on your video?
You know, I should do it twice here since I didn't do it there. But you know, I hear my wife calling. I gotta go.
And I think it's easier for people to look at my story, for example, or anybody like in a similar story, and think that that was an easy decision. And I can't state how much that was a very hard decision for both my wife and I.
You know, I still do some from time to time now.
Okay. And what led you from that into video creation on YouTube?
Boredom.
What's the next step? What is the next thing? What's going to get you to that next place?
It wasn't like YouTube's good and this and that. Like I was still pretty new to YouTube and didn't know that was sustainable long term, and so it was a gamble. And I'd worked for a long time to get in the position I was at, and it was a very, very hard decision to basically give that up for potentially the rest of my life.
With me being a business-minded individual and trying to make sure that I'm providing for my family, but also always growing.
It's really kind of sad because I didn't get involved even when he was doing the noodle boards. He pretty much did all that. I did everything in the house. so that he could stay in the shop a lot?
I am a little conflicted, I think. It initially started off with just sharing like my sewing machines and sewing tips and stuff like that. And then it kind of morphed into sharing the Mastering Mayhem merch items that I was making. And then along the way, I kind of shared some DeWalt tool and obsessions that I've had.
Hats off to Ira. I mean, I can't imagine doing it with small kids. That's a lot of work.
Well, this is a little chaotic, so.
My part really didn't start until Live Edge started. When we started Live Edge, I don't know, I felt different about everything. It felt real to me. I think everything started feeling real to him, you know, after the first few months because he was in the shop. It didn't really feel real to me until Live Edge started. And now I see this as my future too. I don't think I'll be a teacher much longer.
Because I wasn't quite niched enough, but I think because my channel name is I Don't Even Work Here, I think I'm just going to roll with.
I'm going to put out some shorts for staging. Staging is simply where you make the piece of furniture or the item, whatever it is, if it's, you know, wall decor, whatever it is that you're making. It's just where you simply make it look like it belongs in a home.
I never even considered the second channel. I just think that all of my content needs to go where I am.
I'll always be that individual that loves YouTube, that always wants to do extremely detailed videos on how to build.
I was living in Charleston. This was back in, we're talking 2013, March 19th, 2013 was when I posted my very first video.
So think about what the kid actually wants. Try to come up with projects that are quick wins. Sometimes it's not even really hammering something or sawing something. Sometimes it's just simply gluing a couple things together and then painting it. Like, think like a kid.
I had talked to a lot of people in the area trying to find a woodworkers group, people that were building stuff. Didn't even have to be woodworking, there just wasn't much of it. So a friend of mine suggested making videos on YouTube to reach out to other, meet other woodworkers, reach out to other people who were building things. And so I started checking it out, and that was really cool. I saw, back then it was Steve Ramsey, Mark Spagnolo, Laney Shaughnessy, and of course Matt's Basement Workshop. And they were kind of, those are really the four guys, I call them the four fathers. They're the four guys that really started the woodworking DIY thing on YouTube. Those were the guys that started it all. And then there was Matthias Wandel and John Heintz came along. And about the same time, Jimmy DeResta had started his thing, Bob Claggett, and I started about the same time, roughly within a year span there. We all started right around the same time, and it was just fun and exciting. I put a video up. It was the worst video that's ever been posted to YouTube. If you're hard on your videos, go check out my very first video ever. You won't feel so bad, I promise. I took like another 2 months and I put up another video, and it happened again. People were, commenting and talking, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I had done a lot of fishing because I had a lot of free time. So I've been fishing and watching YouTube videos. Saw that there was this gap in the market. In the industrial side of making or furniture or other things, you tend to see a lot of things that you don't see in the DIY side.
You do take sponsors, especially as a lot of the smaller channel, and there's two ways they talk about sponsorship. Sponsorship is someone paying you to do something, and the other one is getting free tools and stuff.
I've had them different times throughout the course of 14 years for different projects and different things that I'm working on. Right now, the team members behind the scenes all have to do with my online courses, but everything else, as far as what I do for my channel, it's just all me.
Doing the research is not necessarily going to be the fun part, right? And we had Mr. King on here a couple of weeks ago. He was talking about the research he did before he released a single YouTube short. Well, the research he did led him to putting together a video less than a minute, but there was many, many hours of research before that, but it led to 5 million views. So research can be very important. this is counterintuitive to a lot of the suggestion out there on YouTube where everybody says, just hit record. Just go out in the garage and hit record. And your viewpoint seems to be different than that. What do you say to those people that say, just hit record?
I'm glad you brought it up, RT. There's a lot of, I call them talking points that have manifested themselves for whatever reason in the how to grow space. The just hit record is probably one of the ones that drives me the most insane. I mean, you can go out and just hit record, but again, set your expectations for what you think the output and the end result is going to be. You get out of things what you put into them. And you may get lucky and you might catch a unicorn, but I'm going to bet 9 times out of 10, if you just go out and you hit record, you don't do any research, you don't have a plan, you don't have a rough script, you don't have a target audience, you don't have value that you're looking to provide. Again, I just think you're setting yourself up for unneeded frustration when a little prep and work up front can pay extreme dividends in the end. And you don't get a do-over when you post the video. Once it goes out into the interwebs, it's done. And you can't go back and redo the same topic right away because then you look like a goof.
I'm inspired by this guy. It's a little not fair because he does have a bigger, larger channel, but he has a smaller woodworking channel that's done pretty well this past year as well as in 2020. And his name is Robert Dunn.
Authenticity is something that I strive for all the time. I always try to just be myself, but everybody always says that. They always say, well, when you're on camera, just be yourself. But as soon as the camera goes on, you're never really yourself because you're always aware of the image that you're projecting, and then you're going to refine that further when you're editing it. At best, I think most of us are only, at best, maybe 80 to 90% ourselves. There's always that part that's carefully curated.
And he's hilarious. I think he is one of the best people in front of a camera in our space. His bigger channel is a car channel. I'm not going to kind of focus on that. But under Dunn, he has made a handful of videos this past year. Not nearly as many as he made in 2020, but he still racked in quite a few views. Especially, he had some videos over 100,000, some over 500,000. And what I really want to emphasize with Robert Dunn, even if you watch his Aging Wheels channel or Under Dunn, his woodworking channel, is his confidence, relaxation, and charisma. And it might,
one thing I'm good at probably more than anything else is business and understanding the way businesses work and how to run a business. And I always come at from very much the Moneyball approach. I don't want to hit home runs. I just want to get on base and get on base and get on base.
And as far as working to become more natural on camera, that's just time. You just keep doing it. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get at it. And I do think it's important to, as much as I'm not really a fan of saying having the avatar behind the camera, I do think it helps to imagine that you're actually talking to somebody who will be watching the video. Sometimes it's easy to forget that you see numbers of people watching, but you forget that these are actual people watching your video on their phone or on their TV or wherever. And I think it's important to keep that in mind.